Thompson, the dancing dad.
What's up, ladies? Y'all can do better than that. What's up, ladies? Take me down, DJ. All right, I'm gonna have this because I'm tall and I like to move around. Is that okay? If that's okay, say all right. Say all right. Ladies, it is such an honor to be here with you guys, this morning. Amy, thank you so much for, I don't know where Amy is at, but there she is. Thank you so much for inviting me out. Just a little bit about me in such a great introduction and everything. Oakley, thank you so much. Just a little bit about me. I am a father of four. Father of four. You guys are saying woo, and I'm like, yeah, I'm done. My oldest daughter is 18 years old. She's going to be 18 tomorrow. So after the event today, I'm heading back home like immediately, because what kind of father would I be if I can't be there for my daughter's 18th birthday? I would be a horrible dad. But and then Christian, my youngest son, who I'll tell you guys about in a little bit, he turns 5 on Monday. He is our T21 superhero. So he's turning 5 on Monday. But by show of hands, who's here and ready to be inspired? Yeah? Okay, so I'm gonna lay out some rules for you guys, okay? I'm gonna lay out some rules. Number 1, okay? It's okay to talk back to me. That's okay, all right? Number 2, we're gonna laugh. Some of you guys have laughed already. We're probably gonna cry, but we're gonna learn something, okay? Now me, I'm about leadership. I'm a leadership coach, and I'm a dancer for 20 years, dancer by trade for 20 years. So me doing all of this and stuff like that, that's professional. That's really professional. I don't do it for fun. I do it for real. Okay? Dancer for 20 years, and that has led me into the Down syndrome community. So just a little bit about myself, my son Christian, my family, my wife Josie. Unfortunately, Josie couldn't be here today. But about 4 years ago, in 2018, that's when Christian was diagnosed with AMKL leukemia. And that's when everything changed in our life. Now, by a show of hands, how many people right now, how many women are going through a storm? Be honest. Going through a storm right now, okay. How many women have been through a storm? How many women in here know that when this event is over, when you get back on the plane and when you touch down, there's probably a storm waiting for you? Yeah. We're gonna be real raw and honest today, okay? But here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna teach you guys how to live beyond measure. This is what I teach my family every day. This is what I teach everyone on social media every single day, how to live beyond measure and how to lead through adversity and how to lead through a storm, okay? Now me, my own storm started, prior to Christian, prior to what was happening with our family and what was going on there. I was in a storm myself, but I was preserving. Do you guys have your notebooks out? If you guys got your notebooks out, I'm going to suggest that you get your notebooks ready to go, because I'm going to teach you guys something today. If we are ready, ladies, while you're doing that, I need you to look at your partner across from you. I need you to say, girl, we got work to do. I need you to look at the other girl and I say, girl, we got work to do. So here's what we're gonna do, ladies. I'm gonna teach you some things. I'm gonna show you some things. And I promise you, by the end of this, we're gonna be inspired, ready to go. And you guys are going to be able to lead into the next phase of your life, going back home to your families, okay? So here we go. I teach about foundation, and I teach about sand, and sand versus the foundation, building your house on a rock versus building your house on sand. Like these houses right here, they're built on a solid foundation, they're built on a rock. Now for me and my family, I was built on a firm foundation. I'm a believer, faith, family, and leadership, okay? And at this moment in time in my life, I was going through a crazy storm, but it was my foundation that kept me still. It was my foundation that kept me strong. And prior to Christian even being born, what happened in my life, I was going through the wildest storm in my life where I had no money. My car was being repossessed. I couldn't pay my rent. everything was going downhill. Now here I am, this cool dancer out here, but everything was going down because there was a recession that was hitting. How many people have been hit by a recession before, yeah? Okay? And at this moment in time, I didn't know exactly what to do with my life. My mom was calling me. She was saying, why don't you come back home? I'm saying, Mom, I'm 29 years old. I'm a grown man. I don't need your help. I want to do this by myself. But everybody needs a firm foundation in their life. But what was happening with me is that I kept building my house on sand at the time, not remembering my foundation. And from there, I said, you know what? I was contemplating for 2 weeks whether to leave the apartment that I was in for 4.5 years or go back home to my mom. So I started to say, you know what, Kenny? Put your pride to the side, put your ego to the side, go back home. I go back home to my mom's house, and 2 weeks later, I get a phone call from my friend. He says, are you okay? I said, yeah, I'm perfectly fine. What's going on? He was like, your house is on fire. I said, dude, I'm in my house right now. He said, no, dude, I'm looking at the news. Your house is on fire. Ladies, the house that I was living in for 4.5 years, the house that had pride in it, the house that had ego in it, the house that had all these different things that God didn't want me to have in it, was literally on fire. I turn on the news, and there my house is on fire, the only one that's up in flames. And I'm saying to myself, wow, like, God, what did you just pull me out of? See, sometimes in life, we can hold on to our ego, we can hold on to our pride, and those are the things that keep us back from going to the next level in our lives. And for me, I had to sit there and say, you know what? This is a time to start preserving. Everybody write this down, preserve, preserve, okay? Preserve. Now, what did I have to preserve? Like an ant. Like an ant. I know we probably don't like ants. You guys are mamas. You guys don't like ants or anything like that. You don't like ants in your house or anything like that, right? No. But I want you to take the wisdom of an ant. What do ants do in the summertime? They store up food, right? They store up food in the summertime. They're preserving for the winter. Now, I come from the East Coast. I'm from Jersey, so I got a Jersey one. Hey, I'm from Jersey, so we don't get too many ants in the wintertime at all. But they're preserving, and at this time, I was preserving my faith. I didn't know exactly what I was doing or why I was doing it. All I know was that I had to go back to the foundation that I grew up on and continue to preserve my faith for year after year after year. And then my son Christian was born. And I had no clue what trisomy 21 was. I had no clue what Down syndrome was all about. I had no clue. I had 3 children, and I had no clue what this is all about. All I knew was I have a beautiful baby boy that is ready for a father. Yeah. So in that time frame, Christian was born with a rare blood disorder that had gave him very low platelet counts, okay? And his platelet count was around 10 to maybe 15,000, really, really low, and he was in danger of having leukemia very, very early. But 14 months into his life, that's what happened. The worst fear, the worst thing, and at this time, I'm kind of back on my feet. I'm married to my beautiful wife. We had a brand new house, and I was owning a dance studio called the Level Dance Complex. Everything was going great. Everything was going amazing. But how many people know that when you're at a peak in your life, that valley is about to come and you're about to head back down, right? Life is all about peaks and valleys. But at this time and at this moment, this is where the preservations and everything came into play. I started to preserve my faith so much that I had to dish out faith when Christian had got cancer, okay? I want you to write these 4 things down. Number 1, remain sober-minded, okay? Number 1, remain sober-minded, okay? Number 2, be a tone setter. Be a tone setter, okay? Number 3, use your gift to make the shift. Use your gift to make the shift. And number 4, stay connected to the source. Stay connected to the source, okay? So number 1, remaining sober-minded. What does that actually mean? The doctor comes in, he says, Kenny, I gotta talk to you. We're thinking that we're gonna get regular blood work done. You know, some of you guys probably have been through the routine before where it becomes your new normal. where this is just our thing. This is just what we do. Christian was getting blood work done twice a week. And at this moment, we're thinking that we're going to be in the hospital 45 minutes. Cool, but 45 minutes turned to 32 days straight in the hospital. Not a bag packed. Nothing planned. And my 3 children had to go stay at their grandmother's house for the entire summer. And I had to shut my dance studio down from going 6 days a week to 2 days a week. Why? Because in my mind, my son needs me in that hospital room. In my mind, I need to make sure that he's there. In my mind, I don't know these doctors like that. And I'm pretty sure that you're great at your job, but he needs his father right there by his side every step of the way. So I want you guys to write this next thing down. It's called a positive atmosphere, right? Create a positive atmosphere. So when we're remaining sober-minded, what do we normally do? What happens, right? Are you going to stay, going through emotions? Are you going to be drunk off emotions? Or are you going to go over and leap over adversity? Are you going to take a step back? The moment that my son was diagnosed with leukemia, I took a step back and I left the room. People say, why did you leave the room? I left the room because I had to go make sure that I got my play call from my source. I had to make sure I got the right play call from my source. When I got the play call from my source, he said, listen, create a positive atmosphere. I go into the room. I said, you know what? This is what we're going to do. We're going to pray around Christian, around his hospital bed before an ounce of chemo even hits his body. And the moment that I did that, as soon as the doctors came back in, I said, listen, doc, here's the deal. Listen, I trust you. I trust your team. But here's what we're going to do. Every single person that comes into this room must have a positive attitude no matter what. You got me? Okay? No matter what. They got to have a positive attitude. I don't care if you're a nurse, a doctor, a tech. I don't care if you're a tarantula. You come in here with a positive attitude and that's it. If not, then you will be removed from the room. Now, the reason why I left the room in the first place is because sometimes, write this down, you got to remove yourself to improve yourself. I said sometimes you got to remove yourself to improve yourself. See, I couldn't allow my son and my daughter and my wife to sit there and see me upset, to see me emotional. Why? Because I'm the leader. If they see that dad is panicking, then what's going to happen with them, with our followers? And sometimes we need that. Sometimes you need to go cry in the closet. Sometimes you need to go do your thing. And it's okay, ladies. I'm empowering you right now. It's okay to do that. It's okay to sit there and put that emotion. But when you're ready to come back to the battlefield, you come back to the battlefield ready to go and ready to take it to the next level. Amen. Here we go. Here we go. Now, if y'all feeling it, say, all right. All right, now, here we go. Listen. So at this point in time where we've remained sober-minded. All right. Number 2, be a tone setter. This is positive. This is setting that positive atmosphere in your life. So I had, you know what? I want to dance with Christian every day. And remember, I said the positive atmosphere. They used to bring these. You guys know. You guys got PT, OT. We have all these different things, right? Yeah. I can talk to you guys. You guys are my people. So they bring in these ladies with the musical therapy. Now, I'm a dancer for 20 years. And they bring in these ladies with these ukuleles. The DJ played my intro. That didn't sound like no ukulele, right? I said, listen, ma'am, no disrespect, but we're creating a positive atmosphere here. And remember, I said anybody that doesn't have that has to be removed from the room. So with all due respect, ladies, you guys got to go with the ukuleles. I said, babe, turn on some James Brown and we're going to get funky with my son. This is what we're going to do. So at this point, Christian hasn't set up by himself yet. Doctor said that he was going to get tired, said he wasn't going to want to eat. They said that he wasn't going to want to do anything. My son never missed a meal. My son took his naps regularly on time. 7 days into the chemotherapy, my son sat up by himself for the first time. For the first time by himself. And as soon as I put that music on, we was bouncing, we was grooving, we was moving, and I see him shaking his little hand. And I'm like, oh man, he's loving it, he's liking it. Now when I say positive atmosphere, I don't mean just in the room. You know how some people may do when they don't understand? Oh, my son has Down syndrome. Oh, I'm so sorry. Why are you sorry? Don't do that. So I had to create it even outside of the room. So my wife was putting all our videos and everything online, and the next thing you know, we go viral. The next thing you know, I have messages from all over the world, people from all walks of life. And they're saying, wow, like this really changed my perspective. Not just on Down syndrome, just about life, period. And what happens a lot of times in life, people don't understand what anybody else is going through because they're so grounded in what they're going through. And that's when it clicked for me. This is not just about dance. This is not about me just entertaining people all over the world. And that's all well and good. But there's a bigger purpose in my life. This is about true leadership. Everybody write that down. True leadership. True leadership. Now, with that being said, what does true leadership mean? What do you have to have with that? We have to have our well-being intact, ladies. Here's a stat. 80% of women in America, we're not talking about the rest of the world, we're just talking about America, believe in self-care. If you believe in self-care, say, all right? But here's the deal, that same stat, those same women, that same 80%, don't do it. Don't do it. This weekend, you guys are getting the most self-care you probably have had in a long time, right? And somebody said, amen, that's what I'm talking about. Ladies, you guys probably spend 10 hours a day serving everybody else before you even serve yourself. Now, is that good or is that bad? So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do a little exercise. You guys ready? Let's do it. So you're gonna, in your notebooks, you're gonna write down these words, okay? I want you to write down currently, okay? Currently, and then I want you to put down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 after that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you're gonna write down, and then you're gonna write under that, you're gonna write ideally, okay? Ideally. And then you're gonna write down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay? Now, above currently, if you have room on your paper, I want you to write these words going across. I want you to write down friends, family, spouse, work, self. Okay? Friends, family, spouse, work, self. Now, currently, be honest. Be honest. Don't play yourself. Be honest, okay? Put down and rank those words 1 through 5 on how those words rank in your life. What is first for you? What is second for you? What is third for you? What's fourth and what's fifth currently in your life? Currently. Okay? What is currently in your life right now? Awesome. Awesome. Oakley, what do you have? What's currently in your life right now?
Wait, I thought we just ranked them, right?
Yeah, rank them. Yeah.
Okay. Family number 1, spouse number 2. I feel like those should be maybe reversed or lumped together, but okay, number 3, friends. I'm a people person. Number 4, work. Number 5, self. Honesty.
Give it up for Oakley right here, for being honest, yeah? So Oakley, let me ask you a question. If something happens to you, who's going to catch you? Hopefully her husband. But how can your husband catch you if he's in front of you? Right? How can your husband catch you? How can your friends catch you if they're in front of you? Now, the minute that they fall back, we see what's happening here, right? So when we talk about self-care, when we talk about self, you guys know the saying, as soon as you guys get on a plane, the announcer will come on and say, hey, when the mask drops down, you put your mask on what? You put your mask on what? I didn't hear everybody in the back. You put your mask on what? You put your mask on first. Ladies, this is what I need you to do. I need you to take what I like to call a special 5 every single day. Special 5. What is that special 5? Special 5 is basically smelling the roses for a second. For you. For nobody else. I know you're a mama. I know you're a server. I know you're all those things. But you're nothing if you can't take care of you. You're nothing if you can't take care of yourself. You're nothing if you can't, because if everything hits the fan, then what happens? I tell my wife all the time, go do you. I got the kids. I got this. I could do this, right? Go get a massage if that's what you need to do. Go for a walk if that's what you need to do. Go to the gym if that's what you need to do. But you got to do it for you. Why? Because we need you. We need you. And every single woman in here, I'm telling you right now, you go home after this event and you say, you know what? I have to put myself first. I'm going to get to this. I'm going to get to that. But I got to take care of me first thing in the morning. I got to take care of me. And this is what I do. Listen, I go get a haircut every single week. This is what I do. I got to make sure I'm fly for my wife. You know, I got to make sure. I can't have myself being fifth on the list because she ain't married at 5. She ain't married at 5. Okay? She married me. I'm at the top of the list. When she met me, I was at the top. Well, of course, I put God, of course, you know, first in my life, you know. But so she married at 2. I'll settle for a 2. Okay? But you guys understand my point, right? Now, ideally, what would you want it to be? So write down under there, ideally, rank them ideally on what you want. Ideally on what you want. Okay? Ideally on what you want. You still didn't put you first? It's okay. You're supposed to be first. Oh, okay. Oh. Yeah, no, ideally, what do you want? Ideally, what do you want it to be? Okay? Now, with that being said, okay, I'm going to ask for a volunteer. Amy, is that okay? Can I get one brave soul to come up here with me? Boom, come on up. Come on up. Give this lady a round of applause right here. Now, I'm going to give you guys a little coaching. Okay, this is what I do for a living now. I don't dance no more for a living. I actually coach for a living now. I'm a leadership coach, so I coach different groups and teams all around the country. And I'm going to share a small coaching tip that will help all of you in your families as well, okay? Now, I would suggest that you do this with a partner. You actually have to do it with a partner, okay? If you want to do it with your children, do it with your children, do it with every family member possible, but I'm going to show you guys how to do it. This is what we call the shifting exercise, okay? Everybody write that down, shifting exercise. Come on up. What's your name? Chantel. Give it up for Chantel, ladies. Okay, Chantel, you are so brave. Okay, number 1, and I'm going to do a small exercise with you, okay? But we got to be honest, okay? We're going to be open, we're going to be honest, cool? All right, so with this exercise, we're going to ask you 4 questions, okay? Now, by show of hands, how many people have been, going through it mentally? Show of hands, going through it mentally, right? You just don't know right from your left and up from down, right? This is going to help us, okay, get some of that out. How many people in here hold in frustration? Yeah. What comes in the body must come out of the body. Okay? No matter how you look at it, negative or positive. Understand? You can either experience negativity or you can receive negativity. Now, if you experience negativity, then you can still reign. REIGN. But if you receive negativity, then you can't reign. Ladies, repeat after me. We're training. I didn't hear the ladies in the back. We're training for reigning. We're training for reigning. 4 questions, okay? And be honest. Now, here's how this works. Number 1, I don't like to use the word hate before the sake of the exercise, okay? We're going to use that word, okay? You can replace it with dislike. Okay, Chantel, what do you hate?
Oh, let's see. Traffic.
Traffic. You hate traffic. What else do you hate?
Let's see. Since we're at a conference for Down syndrome, to get real, I hate when my daughter is limited, not by anybody, by professionals, unprofessionals, the general public.
You hate when your daughter is limited. What else? And even by yourself, for you. What else do you hate?
You know what? When I have a bad hair day.
When you have a bad hair day. All right. Yeah. What else?
Well, that's a lot of hate. I don't know. I hate that when I had my daughter, I was upset and sad, and I felt guilty, and I hated the fact that I spent that time upset when I didn't have to.
You hated the fact that you had to spend that time upset and you didn't have to. What else?
Again, more? Okay, see, I'm trying to...
You let me know when you're done.
I'm trying to go funny a little bit. Let's see. I hate student loans.
You hate student loans. All right, cool. We'll cut it at student loans. But you guys get it so far, right? Okay. Question number 2. What do you want?
Ooh, I want me and my family to be successful.
You want to be successful. What else do you want?
I want my children to live a healthy and happy life.
Healthy and happy life. What else do you want?
I want both of my children to have a really great school, and especially my youngest, be accepted and live to her full potential.
Great education, full potential. What else do you want?
I want my family to be more stronger than ever.
Stronger than ever.
That's including distant family.
Including distant family. Next one. What do you love?
I love my family,
Family,
God.
God,
I love the fact that I am able to meet and talk to different people.
talk to different people.
I love the fact that I'm open to my future. I could choose where I want to go, and I could choose, where basically have that opportunity to choose my future.
Your future. Anything else?
Right now, I want a Whopper from Burger King, but that ain't gonna happen. But I want some food because I'm hungry.
Awesome. So we talked about what do you hate, talked about what do you want, we talked about what you love. Last question. What do you stand for? Something that's not an action word.
Wait, say that again.
So what do you stand for? Like, what's something that you stand for? Something that's not like an action word. So do you stand for peace? Do you stand for love? What do you stand for?
Inclusion. Inclusion 100%, understanding, acceptance, all that.
So you stand for inclusion, okay? Now your sisters out here,
We stand for the same thing.
they are going to hold you accountable for standing for inclusion. So if you guys see Chantel over here not standing for inclusion, you're like, hey girl, what's happening now? I thought you said you stand for inclusion. And then vice versa, you hold others accountable as well too, right? Now in that small exercise, how do you feel? How do you feel mentally?
Pressured.
Pressured? Okay, that's good.
A little nervous, but yeah, I feel like that I'm among people that understand where I'm coming from.
Exactly. Give it up for Chantel, ladies and gentlemen. Give it up. So here's the thing. I'll wrap it up in a second. But here's what I want you guys to understand. You can use that exercise with your children. Okay. You can use that exercise because sometimes, our kids with Down syndrome, like, do they get to express themselves? Do they have the opportunity to do that? Right. These are certain ways that you can give them an opportunity to express that and get that out. Why? Because you want more positivity to be poured in. You don't want them to hold on to the hate, because the hate at the end of the day then builds up into something that's toxic, and then they'll hold it and hold it and hold it. And even for yourselves, we hold it and hold it and hold it. And like a volcano, we then explode. And we don't want to explode. We want to be able to shed light to others around the world. Yeah. Okay, so really quick, all right, I want to give you these last 3 points. Okay, be ready? If you're ready, say aye. Sometimes you got to get a little bit uncomfortable. Okay, leadership means discomfort. Okay, leadership means discomfort. And sometimes we got to get uncomfortable with people. Sometimes we got to get uncomfortable with the fact that we can't stay in our box. We can't stay in our bubble. We have to actually step out if we're going to make a difference in the world. Much like how Amy is doing right now. I'm pretty sure that this was an uncomfortable thing to put together, but you felt led to do it. Yeah, give it up for Amy one more time, right? Number 2, leadership means dissatisfaction, okay? Dissatisfaction, okay? I can't even say this word. Dissatisfaction is a tool to move us to a greater thing in higher ground. Who's ready to go to higher ground? Who's ready to go higher ground? Here we go. And the last one, leadership means disruption. The status quo is never the goal of a leader. Disruption is our constant companion. Sometimes we got to shake things up. Sometimes we got to ruffle some feathers. Sometimes we got to make other people feel a little bit uncomfortable in order to get to that next level. And with my son Christian, while we were in the hospital, this is the 4th round. 4th round. Christian was battling leukemia, and he had a Broviac that was the size of my finger. The needle was the size of my finger that was in his heart, and he had to hold it in there the entire time during his treatment. And at this time, this doctor comes into the room. And for those that know that have been through cancer, you guys know that you guys get a swirl of different doctors that they rotate, every couple of weeks. This doctor comes into the room and he's checking Christian out. And I say, Doc, you think you can go ahead and examine him for an x-ray? Because Christian had a crazy cough at the time. And mamas, you guys know your children, right? You know that you may not be a doctor, but you know that's not normal. And this was cough. I'm like, man, this is different. Doc, you think you can go ahead and give him an x-ray so we can make sure that we can cancel out pneumonia? Because Christian had pneumonia the year prior and it was undetectable. So we just wanted to make sure. You know what the doctor told me? He said, no. He said, no, he doesn't have pneumonia. I'm not going to give him an x-ray. I'm like, oh, maybe. I'm like, babe, maybe he didn't hear me right. Let me rephrase what I said. Doc, listen, Christian had pneumonia the year prior, so I just want to cancel it out because this cough is really, really crazy. Can you just check to make sure? He said, no. Second time, I'm not going to check him out or give him an x-ray because he doesn't have pneumonia. He doesn't have the symptoms. Well, if I blow, you can't see the air that I just breathed, did you? If I blow, you can't see that, but you know that it's there. You know something is there. So I asked him one more time. My mama's in the room. I was raised by a great mom. And my wife is looking at me. And, UT 21 moms are pretty tough, right? My wife is Boricua, so add that in the mix, and it's going to be something else. And I asked him one more time, Doc, can you give him an x-ray? He said no the third time, and he left. I said, is there someone that we could talk above you? He said, I'm the head oncologist. Oh, big dog. Big dog. Well, I'm the head over my son. So I go to the head nurse, and I'm looking around to seeing what we can do, because I'm not giving up on this cough. I don't care if it sounds petty. I don't care what, it is something that is bothering me inside. And my wife is upset right now. And at this point in time, I have to take a stand and I have to do something, right? Remember that positive atmosphere we talked about earlier, right? So I said, you know what? I'm not going to wait any longer. I looked down the hallway and I saw that man standing outside. And I had to go up to him, man to man. There's nobody else around. Your doctor friend is not around. My mom's not in the room. It's just me and you. I said, excuse me, doc. I said, you're not the one that got to stay here 24/7 caring for his son who's fighting for his life right now. I said, my wife right here, right now, is not happy. That's a problem for me because I got to sleep next to that. And I'm not having it. And if she's unhappy, then I'm unhappy. Why? Because we're one. I said, Doc, you're not the one that has to be away from his other children and sleeping on an air mattress the entire summer. 3 kids on an air mattress. This is really not comfortable. See, you get to go home to your nice house. You get to go home in your nice fancy car. You're leaving at 5 o'clock. I'm still here dancing for my son and being here for him, fighting for his life every single day. I'd appreciate it, Doc, if you go ahead and give us the x-ray just so that we have peace of mind. You're not here. You only come in for a second and then you leave. I said, be in my shoes. Understand what I'm going through for a second. And he stopped and he said, you know what? You're right. I'm going to grant you the x-ray. Now, had I not fought for that x-ray, right, we may be having a different conversation. Here's why. Remember that needle that I said earlier in the story was in my son's heart? They'd never found pneumonia, but what they found is that the needle was coming out of his heart. Inside that needle is a Broviac. There's 2 tubes hanging out, one to pump the chemo through, one to draw the blood from. There was a keloid that was being developed around my son's heart. And had I not fought to get that x-ray, they might have never found it. He could have gotten an infection. There could have been something else that went wrong inside the process. But had I not fought for that, then things would be different. And I'm telling you ladies right here, right now, you fight for what you want. You fight for what you believe in. You go full throttle every single day, no matter what the world tells you, no matter what they may say, no matter what they think they believe, no matter what it is, you continue to fight and you stay the course no matter what. And for that reason alone, I said, no matter what, I'm going to advocate for my son, because my son can't speak for himself. My son can't speak for himself, but I'm going to speak up and I'm going to stand for him, not just him, but other fathers out there that may not be in the mix of their child's life right now. Whether you have Down syndrome or not, be here. Be here. And that's what I stand for every single day. I said to myself, you know what? I'm going to change the mind so that we could change the game, because mentally, 70% of illnesses start within the mind. And I don't just mean a chronic illness. I don't mean just a sickness. I think people up here need to change their mind mentally every single day. So ladies, repeat after me. When we change the mind, I ain't hear y'all in the back. When we change the mind, we change the game. When we change the mind, we change the game. One more time. When we change the mind, we change the game. You never let anybody stop you from going to that next level. You never let anybody stop you. We live beyond measure. I heard a wise man once say that that you know, how can the sky be the limit if there's footprints on the moon? Woo! And from that day forth, my son, my family, we continue to inspire every single day. Had I not fought for my son, then maybe he wouldn't have beat cancer in just half the time projected. My son beat cancer in 149 days and now he's cancer-free. So this will be the last thing I'll say. Never stop. Never limit yourself. Continue to believe all the way through. When self-doubt comes in, when the doubts come in, when the tears start to fall, you let them fall, but mentally you stay strong. Mentally you stay firm on your foundation, and mentally you say, when we change the mind, we change the game. That's my time. Thank you guys.